Good evening, everyone. Welcome. This is the final Wicked Majesty Livestream. I am Kia Doling, formerly known as Kia Reed, and tonight we close the doors and say goodbye to something powerful. 4 years of shadows creeping in the night. 4 years of terrifying screams to give you a fright. 4 years of creatures roaming in your mind while you sleep. 4 years of hidden secrets buried deep. And tonight, Wicked Majesty will be put to rest in eternal sleep. 4 years ago, I poured everything I had into creating Wicked Majesty. My pain, my sleepless nights, my desperate need for a place where darkness felt more honest than daylight. I needed this because my world was dark, and I was in a very dark place in my life. For 4 years, since June 20th, 2021, it gave me a voice where I didn't have one, occupying my mind, my time, my sanity. It pulled me away from the relentless cycles of depression, the chaos of ADD and ADHD, the suffocating weight of anxiety that made every day a battle. Also, the toxic people and environments I would consistently find myself dealing with were taking a toll on me. Through Wicked Majesty, I found freedom to experiment, be creative, feel, fall apart when needed, express myself, and take my imagination further than ever before. Looking at all of this, Wicked Majesty was my sanctuary in the storm, but my life has changed significantly. Through healing and growth, I found peace that doesn't require perfection, hope that survives storms. My voice feels the need to be quieter, but still fears. The shadows that once consumed me have learned to dance with light. I'm not abandoning the darkness. I'm learning to speak its language with wisdom earned through struggle. Welcome to the Quiet Hour, launching July 14th, 2025. Where we'll explore thrillers that creep with purpose, mysteries that reveal deeper truths, gentle horror that respects both darkness and light, and poetry that breaks you open and pieces you back together with hope. This isn't a rejection of who I was. It's an embracing of who I'm becoming. Wicked Majesty permitted me to scream into the void. Now it's time to discover what happens when I choose to whisper truth into silence. As we journey through these memories together, know that I'll be preserving all of this content, including videos never posted in a special archive. I'm still deciding where, but follow my Facebook and Instagram for updates when it's ready. You won't hear about it here on YouTube. The shadows haven't disappeared. They've learned that sometimes the most profound transformations happen not in the screaming, but in the stillness.
Hello, my lovely dark souls.
Wicked Majesty, bitches. In the darkest corners of the internet, where fear...
Do you hear that? The whispers in the shadows, the scratching at the door, they're calling you to Wicked Majesty. I'm Kia Reed, and tonight we'll face the things that go bump in the night together.
Shadows crawl on broken ground, a haunted echo, a mournful sound, from delta dust to graveyard stone. Wicked Majesty claims its own. The blues of midnight, a haunting cry beneath the blood-red weeping sky. Kia recalls from the other side.
It all started in the year 2012. My mother had passed away a few years prior from the battle of cancer. During this time, I was dealing with a lot of issues that was taking its toll on me and affecting my mental health. So I decided to look for something that would help me escape from the pressure and relieve my thoughts from things that were taunting my brain. It was then I started a blog called Wicked Majesty. This was where I would post my poems to express myself, how I was feeling, and connect with other people with similar interests. Later on, I wasn't able to keep my blog's domain name due to financial setbacks, and the company I was going through deleted my blog, but luckily I was able to continue posting my poetry on the Wicked Majesty YouTube channel.
All that we've seen or seen is but a dream within a dream, by Edgar Allan Poe. Feel like giving up? Keep in mind, most problems last for only a season. Some season may feel like that they last longer than others. Don't give up. Keep fighting the good fight for a better tomorrow. It will come. I've been down this road for so long. Sick of shedding all those tears. Tired of the same problem, year after year. Done with all these feelings of fear. I hold my head up, lay my burdens aside. As I walk through the field of thorns, I know I will survive.
Part 5 of the Mask of the Red Death series. I hope you all are enjoying the story so far. This pesky prince that is in denial, about to meet his fate.
carriages to the masqueraders. Each they were grotesque. There were much glare and glitter and beacon.
And everything is green instead of yellow. But here I can creep smoothly on the floor, and my shoulder just fits in that long smooch around the wall, so I cannot lose my way. Why, there's John at the door. It is no use, young man. You can't open it. How does he call and pound? Now he's crying for an axe. It would be a shame to break down that beautiful door. John, dear, said I, in the gentlest voice, the key is on the front doorstep under the plantain leaf. That silenced him for a few moments. Then he said, very quietly indeed, open the door, darling. I can't, I said. The key is down by the front door under the plantain leaf. And then I said it again several times, very gently and slowly, and said it so often that he had to go and see, and he got it, of course, and came in. He stopped short by the door. What's the matter? He cried. For God's sake, what are you doing? I kept on creeping just the same, but I looked at him over my shoulder. I've got out at last, said I, in spite of you and Jane, and I've pulled off most of the paper, so you can't put me back. Now, why should that man have fainted? But he did, and right across my path by the wall, so that I had to creep over him.
Amid the profusion of gold ornaments that lay scattered to and fro or depended from the roof, there was no light of any kind emanating from the lamp or candle, or through the suite of chambers, but in the corridors that followed the suite there stood, opposite to each other, a heavy tripod bearing a brazier of fire that projected its rays.
Toddy hates me. I'm a pretty bad fella myself. Oh yes, Toddy, you do. Hiram, did you ever see the lads play knife? Toddy McFarlane is the boy. Toddy McFarlane I call him.
Don't you call me that confounded name.
Hiram, did you ever see the lads play knife? He would like to do that all over my body.
You had better look at the face. You had better look at the face.
McFarlane, I've put my neck in a halter to oblige you.
The resurrected man, to use a by name of the period, was not to be deterred by any of the sanctities of customary piety. It was pitch dark. A creeping chill began to possess the soul of Fetz. He peered at the bundle, and it seemed somehow larger than at first. All over the countryside, and from every degree of distance, the farm dogs accompanied their passage with tragic ululations, and it grew and grew upon his mind that some unnatural miracle had been accomplished, that some nameless change had befallen the dead body, and that it was in fear of their unholy burden that the dogs were howling.
This is not a woman.
It was a woman when we put her in.
Hold that lamp. I must see her face.
And as Fetz took the lamp, his companion untied the fastenings of the sack and drew down the cover from the head. The light fell very clear upon the dark, well-moulded features and smooth-shaven cheeks of a too familiar countenance, often beheld in dreams of both of these young men. A wild yell rang up into the night. Each leaped from his own side into the roadway. The lamp fell, broke, and was extinguished, and the horse, terrified by this unusual commotion, bounded and went off toward Edinburgh at a gallop, bearing along with it, sole occupant of the gig, the body of the dead and long dissected Grey.
Toddy!
Hates me. Toddy hates me. Oh yes, Toddy, you do. Oh yeah, you do. Oh yeah.
What's wrong with you this morning, my poor muse? Your dark, sunken eyes are filled with nightmares. I see reflected in your frightened gaze, now gone cold and silent. Such mad horrors. Did succubus and demon rise to blaze out their love for you from the dank crypts they muse? As nightmare's hand, cruel, despotic, and crazed, plunged you toward ancient ruins and ancient fears? About you hovers the smell of disease, for which your thoughts had no impurities, and your Christian blood flowed in rhythmic waves, like the rich measured verse of ancient days, over which Phoebus, father of song, reigns, with Pan, harvest lord of the golden grace. Good evening. My name is Kia Reed, otherwise known as Wicked. In tonight's video, I will be presenting and reciting a poem written by a French poet named Percy Bysshe Shelley called Ozymandias. It is considered one of his most famous poems. It is about meeting a traveler in an antique land now known as Egypt. The traveler tells him about two stony stumps which stood in the desert. Beside them were the remains of a stone face, which later on is depicted as part of a statue that bears a superior, grim expression. It's been said that the statue was likely a ruler who once had an empire in the desert that has long been departed. If you like this video, be sure to hit the subscribe and like buttons. This will help with the algorithm for this channel, and it will help me be able to create much better and more frequent videos for you to enjoy. Now, I bring to you Ozymandias by Percy Bysshe Shelley. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two busk and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frowned and wrinkled lips and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor, while those passions red, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed." And on the pedestal these words appear: "My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, mighty and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of the colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far over." Spirits of the dead. Thy soul shall find itself alone, mid thoughts of the grey tombstone, not one of all the crowd to pry into thine hour of secrecy. Be silent in that solitude, which is not loneliness for them. The spirits of the dead who stood in life before thee are again, in death around thee, and their will shall overshadow thee. Be still. The night thou clear shall frown, and the stars shall look not down from their high throne in heaven, with light like hope to mortals given. But their red orbs without thee to thy weariness shall seem as a burning and a fever, which would cling to thee forever. Now our thoughts thou shalt not banish, now our visions never to vanish. From thy spirit shall they pass, no more like dewdrops from the grass. The breeze, the breath of God is still, and the mist upon the hill, shadowy, shadowy yet unbroken, is a symbol and a token. How it hangs upon the trees, a mystery of mysteries.
If you thought part 1 was scary, just wait until you see what's in store for part 2. Get ready to be on the edge of your seat as I uncover more terrifying occurrences that happen when a stamp Murder 22 appears on someone's arm. So sit back, grab your popcorn, and join me for another bone-chilling installment of The Stamp of Death on the Wicked Majesty channel. Murder 22. I took a few steps back and looked a few times.
Never go down to the basement late at night. You must remain in your room till the sun rises. That was always my mother's advice to me. I never gave it much thought. During my childhood, I'd never seen anything unusual down there throughout the day. Only the odd thump from the walls and a few foul odors. I ignored it as nothing more than rats, because our basement was so large. It's no wonder that those filthy rodents built a nest there. My mother's mental and physical health had drastically deteriorated, so I returned to my childhood home, which was on the second floor from across the hall from hers, to care for her. Aside from boxes of stuff she'd been storing in there, she kept my room as it had always been. I stacked the boxes in the attic and rearranged my belongings in the room. It was always a joyful environment at home, but there was this uneasy feeling that wasn't there before.
In the remote cradle of Raven's Hollow, where fog clasps the land and the sea whispers secrets, lived Marcus, a fisherman whose life was as intertwined with the ocean as the town was with tales of the supernatural. One fateful night, amidst the dark, roiling waters, Marcus's net caught a glimpse of the impossible, a creature of nightmares, scales, and sorrow, with eyes that burned like hellfire. This encounter plunged him into a quest that would unravel the gothic horrors of Raven's Hollow. Drawn by an obsession to uncover the truth, Marcus discovered the legend of the Siren of the Deep, a tale of tragic love, betrayal, and a curse that bound a tormented spirit to the abyss. Under a starless sky, Marcus faced the Siren, a creature of both horror and mesmerizing beauty. Her song, a melody of despair, revealed a lineage cursed and a love lost to the depths.
That night, haunted by visions of the creature, Marcus's dreams twisted into a labyrinth of gothic horrors, with the creature lurking in every shadowed corner. Compelled by a deep, unshakable need to understand what he had seen, Marcus began to delve into the town's archives. There, amidst dusty tomes and ancient manuscripts, he uncovered a chilling legend, the tale of the Siren of the Deep. The creature, born of a tragic love and a vengeful curse, was said to dwell in the darkest depths, emerging only to seek a lost soul with which to share its eternal torment. As Marcus's obsession grew, so too did the creature's appearances. Fishermen spoke in hushed, fearful tones of glimpsed shadows beneath the waves, and an eerie, mournful song that drifted on the wind.
Ladies and gentlemen, ghouls and ghosts, welcome to the spectral spectacle of Wicked Aftermath Livestream. And the horrors await.
Town of Alma, near Charleston, Arkansas. There used to live a family. James and Susan were the parents of two beautiful children, Megan and Max. Jane at the dinner table, eating their supper, when Susan says to James,
"James, we won't be able to survive like this. Our food supplies will merely last for a few days. What will we do?"
I don't know what I can do. No one's willing to give me a job, and our rent is still due. If I don't get a job soon, we'll probably end up on the street.
Don't worry, Father. I know you'll find a way. You always do. We'll get through this together.
An old woman comes to James's house. She used to belong to a rich family, you see, and was known for her generosity and always helping people.
Hey, Susan, I heard about James and that he lost his job. I also heard that you are in a real bad state right now.
Yes, we are. How do I tell you how much trouble we are in?
Don't worry, Susan. You and James should go to Huntington. I have a house there that has been closed for quite some time. Till your financial situation gets better, I suggest you go and live there. Remember, there's a locked room inside the house that hasn't been opened. We have some important stuff there, so it's better if you keep it closed.
We should pack all our important stuff, Susan. We'll go there as soon as possible.
Upon reaching the house, its condition clearly said that it hadn't been looked upon for quite some time. James opened the door, and a sudden gush of wind started to blow out of the house. Here's a voice. The voice of a woman crying somewhere close by. He stops in his tracks to listen to where the voice is coming from.
Tonight, we delve into a story that weaves the threads of vengeance, heritage, and the unbreakable human spirit. African-American woman named Maya. Her soul was deeply intertwined with her African heritage, and she found a profound connection to the mystical arts of voodoo. Maya's fascination led her to collect voodoo dolls, which she believed harbored the essence of healing and protection. One fateful day, an enigmatic package arrived at her doorstep. Inside, she discovered a voodoo doll of exquisite craftsmanship, its appearance unlike any she had seen. Compelled by its allure, Maya placed the doll on a prominent shelf in her bedroom, ignorant of the ominous secret it harbored within.
Tonight I will bring you all back to a tale that all of us know, but some of us have never heard of the original tale. This story is a tale of a princess. He gets there. He sees Talia awake with the twin and becomes overjoyed. He then goes and tells Talia who he was, how he saw her, and what all happened. After she listened to everything the king was saying, they began a very strong friendship and began a romantic relationship. But there was a tiny little detail that the king left out. He was married. Now, in Disney's version, we know the villain to be an evil fairy named Maleficent. But in the Sun, Moon, and Talia story, it was the wife of the king. All right. Now, the king's wife finds out about Talia and the children through her secretary, And how it happened is she ordered the secretary to go snooping around to see what's all going on with her husband because he's been staying up so late, and trying to figure out what's been keeping him. Well, after she finds out the truth, of course, she's jealous and very angry with Sleeping Beauty to the point where she ordered the cook to seek out the children, have them killed, and served up in several dishes for the king, just out of revenge. Of course, the cook didn't have the heart to do that, so instead he decided to cook the king lamb instead. Then the cook hid the children away somewhere where they couldn't be seen. Later on, the queen goes out and finds Talia, kidnaps her, and plans out to throw her into a bonfire.
I'm your host, Kia Reed, and in tonight's episode, we will be diving into the dark and horrifying origins of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. Prepare yourself for a chilling tale that will send shivers down your spine. The townspeople turn to a mysterious piper dressed in multicolored clothing who claims to possess the power to rid the town of its vermin problem. But little do they know that making a pact with the piper would have dire consequences.
Good evening, my lovely dark souls. Welcome to another night of dark poetry. I'm your host, Kia, and red water filled up in the tub. One girl dead by slit of the throat. No suicide attempt because there's no note. Cut her open. Serve her parts real nice. The queen likes her lady meal, her lady meat marinated in sugar and spice. Tonight it's bath time. Slice them up like chicken nuggets. Got the maid chained. Time to fill the buckets. A tale of the original sin. No telling, maybe she'll send her men to kill again. I bring you the torture chamber. My life is a torture chamber, forced to deal with bullshit, not my own, but others. 1 minute raised to be pampered, next minute in the pit to suffer, surviving by accepting human cruelty. Sleep tight. Don't let shadows bite.
There's a lot of things that I have to get settled, but you should know. Wow. Watching some of these clips at once really brings insight to how far it came. That was Wicked Majesty, folks. From beginning to end. I never expected this channel to have lasted 4 years. But she became a place for every rage, fear, and anything that pertained to darkness and horrific things. For every bad audio or image, for every messy poem and oddball story that didn't quite fit anywhere else. She was never meant to last forever. But she taught me how to creatively express myself, which has brought me to where I am today. Now, as you all know, something's shifted. The chaos has become less chaotic. Less screams are needed to be heard. Although I did enjoy the shock. It's time to sink in. And so I started writing differently. And this new space was born. Its name matches everything I'm doing. It's called The Quiet Hour. This is The Quiet Hour. Stories and poems with an eerie stillness. Nothing demonic, just mystery, light horror, and strange truths told with intention. Clean enough to stay public, eerie enough to keep you looking behind you. Inside this new channel, you'll find 5 new series. The first series on the list is Buried Ashes. It contains dark, eerie, and emotional poetry, much like the Graveyard Verses, which, by the way, I will be getting rid of that channel as well and moving it over to the Quiet Hour. So a lot of the poetry that you've seen before or any new ones that involve dark, eerie, and emotional poems will be placed here in the Buried Ashes, and you will see those on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The second one on the list is Silent Perplexities. It contains dark mysteries and crime stories and a little bit of psychological thrillers as well, but that's leaning more to a different series. You will see these stories on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, the third one on our list is Tea and Terror Friday Nights. No, it's not Tea and Terror Thursdays. That podcast I have not done in a long time, so I've kind of set it aside and decided to make it a part of the Quiet Hour. But with this, it's not showing the classic uh, stories that were made by different authors. This one is primarily light horror and psychological thrillers, mostly of what I've written. And you will be able to see these on Fridays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, the next one on our list is Echoes. This series, you will be able to see and hear the stories from classic authors and poets from long ago, and you will also be able to hear either me or a guest that I may have uh, reciting poetry or reading some of the stories. So you will be able to see this on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Now, the last one on our list is the Silent Verses. This is more of reflective and inspirational poems and basically more uplifting, motivational. And you will be able to see these on Sundays at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Welcome to the Quiet Hour with Kia Doling. Stories and poems with an eerie stillness. Formerly known as Wicked Majesty, I'm Kia Doling, and I'm here to take you through the corridors of the unknown, unexplainable, and questionable. On my channel, the most chilling stories and powerful yet taunting poetry come with mysterious whispers. Poetry with a cutting edge that rips through the bone. Thrillers that make you question everything. And light horror that creeps under your skin most exquisitely. This is storytelling and spoken word that bites back. Every sibilating word carries weight, and every silent moment holds a secret. The shadows move in the dark, but we never lose sight of the light. The content here is clean. No jump scares, no filth, no bloodbaths, but it's hair-raising enough to make your heart race. If you're ready for cryptic lore and verses to give you the heebie-jeebies, subscribe and join a community that knows how deep the darkness goes and exactly where to draw the line. This is the Quiet Hour. No screams, just stories with a bite. Born a misfit. All my life, every day ends in defeat. No matter how I try to hide, seen as an incompetent circus freak, wishing for the day I die, striving to be a genius, thinking someday someone would see my beauty through their eyes, instead of a black ratchet golem looking for precious. I know I'm not a worthless piece of shit like the thugs. Yet I still felt no love and acceptance. Family embraces are nothing more than fake hugs. Former friends' welcome turned into vengeance. No appreciation in this world. Just a misshaped rag doll. A lonely silent girl, destined to fall. A mockery to the masses. In quiet screams, I'm asking why, while my father's buried in his ashes, awaiting for the day when I'm buried by his side. This torture I can't bear. I can't look in the mirror, afraid of the thing in front of me, standing there, the grotesque creature, constantly mocked because of its features.
The stories haven't ended. The vibe just changed. I'm thankful for Wicked Majesty, and I'm so grateful for all of you. Whether you've been here for years or just wandered in tonight, I hope you stay because the quiet begins, and it has so much it wants to say. Subscribe, turn on your notifications, come back on July 14th to see the upcoming trailers to the new episodes on the Quiet Hour. Thank you for witnessing the end, and I hope you stay for the beginning. Have a good night.